Hello. So I started this video back in September when I actually took the footage, and since then I have a much nicer phone and camera, which I'm excited about to do some more videos. And I've also got my hands full with this little kitten. This is Coco. So I've had her for a couple weeks now, and she's been keeping me busy. So back in September, I had these passes to a music festival that was just 50 miles away up in Brevard, North Carolina. And we could have driven there and parked and probably come home like the same night, but I wanted to think a little bit outside of the box for date night. And since my boyfriend and I both ride road bikes and we're used to really long rides, I decided I really wanted to bike there. So I reached out on Warm Showers, of all places. Warm Showers is really for bike touring, long distance, but I reached out to a nearby host and I said, hey, here's what we want to do. Like, would it be okay if we just camped in your yard? Obviously with COVID and everything, we wanted to be like super careful. So I communicated that as well. And it worked out really well. Our host was super nice and was totally fine with us just wanting a place to camp that was kind of near town. There were places kind of outside that we would have had to bike a little bit further, but I thought it would be a good networking opportunity just to meet another host near me. And I liked the idea of maybe making a friend possibly. So I like to reach out to people who are kind of in the bike community who might be down for something like that, because we'd certainly welcome people to camp in our yard. Especially on the East Coast, I feel like it can be really hard to find camping. So for a bike overnight, you might just stay in a motel or something like that. That's definitely an option. But it's just really nice when you can just pitch your tent somewhere for free and not have to, pay $40 for a campsite or what have you. So if I lived out west, there would be a lot more options for hiker-biker sites or for just camping in general. Like they have city parks and stuff in Denver and things like that. But we have to get a little creative over here on the East Coast. So we went out on this overnight and I took all of this footage. So we are gonna get on to that and I'm gonna show you what we did. Hope you enjoy it. So here's our setup. I rode my road bike, which I usually don't do, but my gravel bike was in the shop, as I recall, and I just wanted to go super light. So we really just had a change of clothes and our sleep setup to bring with us. So we packed up like this and we headed off. We were going to Brevard, which is about 50 miles from our house, here up over the mountains. Winding country roads, low traffic, really pretty. And we were just going for the night. So we left on a Saturday afternoon and we came back on Sunday morning. So it was about 50 miles each way, a total of 100 miles for the weekend, which for what we've been doing lately was not too bad at all. And then the main climb you can see here in front of us, that is the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains. So if you look at the northwest corner of South Carolina, going into North Carolina, the state line is right basically as you cross the mountains there, as you cross that ridge, you get into North Carolina. It's a pretty good climb all the way up there, but you do get a descent. And just to mention, I'm on a road bike and Mike is on his gravel bike just because of the shape of his handlebars. It just works better with the cradle. And we really like having the Salsa Anything cradle because it lets you pack a lot of stuff on the front of the bike without getting in the way of your brakes and your shifting. On the back, I have a Revelate Terrapin and Mike has a Revelate Spine Lock. And on the front, I added my Kinga Pocampo bag because I love having a nice little front bag right there. So after our little ice cream stop there, we got a nice little descent and we got down into the valley. So the road here flattens out really nicely and it's just really, really gorgeous. We got to Brevard shortly after that and we went ahead and pitched our tent because we knew we'd be back a little bit later. Our Warm Showers host was super lovely and it was wonderful to get to put on some regular clothes. And we were pretty hungry after all of that riding, so we went ahead and stopped in Oscar Blues Brewing for a quick bite to eat before we headed on to the music festival. We probably should have left earlier, but by the time we had gotten there, it was really quite busy and full of cars, like you can see, because they take up a ton of space. It was way more efficient to bike there, and we just had this really lovely time hanging out outside at the festival. We did bike back that night. We had lights, but I didn't take video because it would have been hard to see. So anyway, the next morning we packed up our tent and all of our gear, and we got rolling probably by about 9 a.m. We never get a super early start because it's a lot of packing and we're uncaffeinated at this point. I actually packed up faster than Mike for once, which never happens. But anyway, we rolled back into town from where our warm showers host lived, and we went to a little bakery called Quotations that we love in Brevard for a nice little breakfast here before we rolled back. And this is also where we got changed because we had rolled out wearing regular clothes, but we kitted up, got everything back on our bikes, and we're ready to roll back. We did stop at the beautiful overlook at Caesar's Head on the way back because we had a little bit more time, and this is like my favorite overlook in the area. It's just gorgeous up here. So we came back pretty much the same way that we went up, and we're lucky with super beautiful weather both ways. And to top it all off, we met up with friends when we got back to Greenville. So that was our trip, our little date night overnight, and I just wanted to share because I just love how many like fun things you can do on bikes, and with a little bit of creativity, even when you don't necessarily live in a really bike-friendly area necessarily, or a place with a whole lot of routes or camping, you can still find ways to make it work. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and until next time, which hopefully won't be quite as long. Bye.